Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. All things Middle-earth here with an update video on the most recent update that happened about 4 hours ago in the game. This is, in my opinion, one of the best updates, if not up there for the best update we have had in this game. So make sure you stay tuned because this could be very, very game-changing for your account. I know it was for mine specifically, so stay tuned. We're going to walk through exactly what these Master at Arms gifts we get here do in the game. All that coming up in just 1 second. Okay, so as of the newest update here, we have this Master at Arms gifts in our mailbox. It says, "Dear Tactician, the Master at Arms found a magical item on their journey which can restore the state of your equipment to its original state. May this gift help you develop further in Middle-earth. This item is pretty rare, so use it with discretion." So we have this new item in the game called the Elven Craftsman's Hammer. According to their posts thus far, what we know is this item is going to be available in the end of season shop in seasons that start after today. In the end of season shop, there'll be 2 of them available. We don't know how much they're going to cost yet. And we suggested on stream. I don't think it's because of our suggestion, but I was very happy to see that they gave us 2 to start out with. So we don't have to wait 2 months to actually try this thing out. We got it right now. Everyone gets 2. So you get this Elven Craftsman's Hammer. And there are a few things I want to look at really quickly to cover why this thing is so good in the game and why I was very, very happy with the update. So as you can see, I've already used 1. If you're not watching our live stream, which you should definitely make sure you're subscribed and checking out live streams because we do this stuff live, so everyone can see what's happening with the game. We finally, after a long time, broke down our Dwalin's axes, which were fully strengthened and refined 1 time. We used our hammer, and I'll show you an example of what this looks like with something like Gorbag's item as well. But we used our hammer on Dwalin's twin axes. It gave us back the twin axes. It gave us back 25 worn out weapons, and it gave us back 60 raw mithril for our 1 star of refinement. We could take it a step further on this, which I'll explain in example form here. So if we go to the Elven Craftsman's Hammer, you click use, and then you click the big plus button right here. Again, the way to actually use it once items are in is to click the big gold check mark right here. So just be careful around this button. But if you put in a respect 10 item, a unique item for a commander that has been strengthened or refined, you're going to get the item back at its base state like we see here. You're going to get the amount of worn out items, in this case weapons, for the strengthening done. So we have 2 stars. My chair is covering it, but there are 2 stars of strengthening being given back in the form of 5 worn out weapons. It is refined twice, which is equivalent to 120 raw mithril. If I click the gold button down here, we'd get all these things back on our inventory, which is exactly what we did with Dwalin's item, which is why we have all these ones here. If I now take Dwalin's item and put it back in, for example, you will see that this is, again, I'll move the chair just so you can see here, Dwalin's 0 star refinement, 0 star strengthened is now going to just be gone completely for 60 mithril, which is the initial investment cost to unlock an R10 item. So that is how it works with R10s, which is crazy, crazy huge for those of us who invested in R10 items that did not end up being good, or just were, you're testing things, whatever it is. Up to this point, there has been no way to get items that are R10 items, which makes it super restrictive. And I've been very cautious when advising players what to do, letting everyone know, hey, once you put it in right now, it's stuck. That's not the case anymore. You have a much more flexible system. Even if it's still just 2 times a season, this is a much more flexible system. We don't know how much these hammers are going to cost when in the end of season shop, so I would make sure you're doing it with caution still. But again, the addition of this is game changing. So for me, in my own personal example, I have Gorbag's R10 item at 2 star refined, 2 star strengthened, and I had Dwalin sitting there just hoarding gold items. I've been very reluctant to put any more mithril or items into Gorbag's, just because the fear of the meta shifting or just not wanting to use Gorbag or whatever it is was pretty high. Staring at Dwalin's axes at full strengthening and refinement, 1 refinement, knowing that I couldn't get this out. Now that I know I can get things out, I can more freely test out different things without being punished for trying new builds or trying something that's not maybe as confirmed in the meta, whatever it is. So that's a huge thing there. Again, it can also be used for any other items in the game as well, although I would really highly recommend only using it for gold items. R10 items that have been invested in first that you don't want to use. If you're not like me and you don't have an R10 item that you want to get rid of, you can look at gold items like this Elven White Knife, for example. It's going to refund in, it's fully strengthened, so it's going to give me 19 worn out weapons back. We get the original item, which is the original one has eye for an eye. So eye for an eye we get back right here, and then eye for an eye is the one we have in it for refinement. So again, in gold items, it just gives you that one back, which this effect can be achieved. If I had another white knife, I could refine this white knife into another white knife that's strengthened one time without losing any white knives. So this is not a brand new effect to the game. It just allows it to happen without having an additional item. And furthermore, if possible for accounts, I would suggest players to hang on to one hammer, because it's a pretty easy way to put items in and check what is in the item. Because again, if you've been on the channel at all, you see how much we cycle things around. Let's say I've got my full helm with melee vigor, and I switch that back and forth between melee vigor and blinding barrier to run a knight build on different commanders. I do have an actual knight one here, but let's say I only had one and I'm swapping it back and forth with one effect because I'm not a crazy whale. Usually you need a different item to check what's in those items. Now I can just go to my Elven Craftsman's Hammer, click the plus button. I can go all the way down to the full helm that I have with melee vigor, click this, and it's going to show me what I have here. Melee vigor, remotivate, and vigor, remotivate, so on and so forth, to see if I have blinding barrier. And in this case, I can actually see I don't have blinding barrier. So there's no point in me deconstructing this to see if there's an effect here. I can check without that whole process of deconstructing and reconstructing items, which is a time saver, especially middle of the season when you're checking to see what effects you have. So if possible, I'm going to suggest that everyone save at least one hammer. Again, I would not really suggest using this on purples. I would use it on gold items that you really want to, save items on, or R10 items. For me, if I happen to have a white knife, let's say I have a white knife with Might of Elves, but I'm not using my Elven commanders a lot, but I don't want to get rid of a best in slot effect. If I had Might of Elves here, I could use the hammer and get this piece out by itself, but still get the bulk of the items out, used for upgrade, used for something else, but not get rid of the item. Whereas I could still say I'm not using it, so I'm going to dump it into something else. But then in 2 seasons, they release Glorfindel or whoever, a really cool Elven commander, and I want a white knife again, I'm kind of out of luck. So I would just say this update was fantastic. I was extremely happy. I feel like the devs listened to the player base here. There was a serious issue that this game induces anxiety in terms of gear decisions. That's why people just hang on to, they hoard their gold gear because it's so unforgiving. The fact that we now have a system that allows us to have some forgiveness and flexibility with that is fantastic. I have really nothing but good things to say about this update. I am so happy to be making a video like this. Again, I shoot you guys straight. I'll make rant videos. I'll tell you if an event is bad. I'll tell you if a feature's bad or an item's bad. So I'm very happy to be making a video that is very honestly stating that this item, the Elven Craftsman's Hammer, is very, very good for the game. Just use it with caution because you only get 2 to start out with, and then at the most 2 per season. We don't know how much they cost. They could be very difficult to obtain. Just make sure you're patient when using them. But overall, I'm extremely happy with this. Make sure in the Discord, if you want advice, seriously, if you want to get on stream with us and share your screen and say, hey guys, who should I use this on? We've got lots of players who are very knowledgeable who can walk through your account with you and say, yeah, based on what you have, this makes the most sense. Get rid of this item, keep these ones, that kind of stuff. So make sure you're in the Discord because, again, a lot of us just enjoy helping other players make good decisions to enjoy the game more. And making good decisions could be a night and day difference for you. For me, I know getting rid of Dwallin's axes now means that I can fully strengthen up my gigantic hammer. It now means, I could try out a retaliate build on my reckoning. It now means there are so many things that can be tried out, and I'm not sitting on 25 gold items that are not being used because it was just a bad item. It's fantastic. I can't overstate how happy I am with it. So again, I'm not going to ramble on. I hope this made it very clear. This is a very good update. I'm very happy with it. I hope to continue to see more things like this. If you enjoy this update with the Elven Craftsman's Hammer and you want to see more positive updates to the game, please check out the Respect Refund System post in Discord. It's the link in the description that says Respect Refund Post. That post has, I think, close to 400 upvotes on it. This update that included the Elven Craftsman's Hammer was one we highlighted on the channel in the main Discord in the game sessions tab. So I'm not saying I take full credit for this happening, but I also don't think raising awareness hurt. So if you want to see more updates for the game that would benefit the player base, make sure you're making your voice heard. Check out that link in the description. I think it's a fantastic idea. not one I came up with by myself, but it's one that, you know, I put a variation of that idea out. So I'd love to hear you guys' feedback on that one. But seriously, let me know what you guys think about this update. Let me know what items you got back. Did you have a Dwell on Zax type situation that you were so happy to get rid of? Because I know that I am just stoked that I got rid of mine. So let me know what you guys think. Appreciate the support as always. I'll see you all in a future video. Have a great night.